we are talking about WBCS. I am Saikat. I have been teaching WBCS aspirants for last 6 years in Siliguri and I have secured rank 6 in 2023 WBCS. तो हर साल 4 से 5 लाख लोग उसको देते हैं, उनमें से 5000 के करीब मेंस लिखते हैं and then only 250 to 300 actually gets the job. See, WBCS is a marathon. WBCS is not a 100-meter sprint, it's a marathon, and I tell it to all my students that you should take it like a marathon. How can you make good scores? You should read newspapers and you should also read editorials to have a habit of writing well, writing logically, writing structured in a structured manner. It won't happen in a day, but it will happen one day. We are talking about WBCS, an exam जो हर साल 4 से 5 लाख लोग उसको देते हैं, उनमें से 5000 के करीब मेंस लिखते हैं and then only 250 to 300 actually gets the job. And I'm not saying this to frighten you. I'm just saying this आपको ये समझाने के लिए कि इतने लोग प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं फिर भी इतना कम सक्सेस रेट क्यों है. क्योंकि जो लोग प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं वो लोग पढ़ तो बहुत रहे हैं, they are studying very hard, but maybe they are studying blind. तो आज और कुछ मिनटों में हम लोग ये देखने वाले हैं कि WBCS के लिए एक कंप्लीट स्ट्रेटेजी कैसा होना चाहिए और उसके साथ साथ कोई मोटिवेशनल नॉनसेंस नहीं, कोई शॉर्टकट नहीं, जस्ट द रोड एज इट इज. और जो रूटीन फॉलो करके मैंने सक्सेस पाया वही रूटीन फॉलो करके आपको भी सक्सेस मिल सकता है. यू कैन ऑल्सो अचीव द सक्सेस in the same way that I have achieved. I am Saikat. I have been teaching WBCS aspirants for last 6 years in Siliguri and I have secured rank 6 in 2023 WBCS. And today we are going to see how you should approach this exam as it is. So first we will see here कि आपको 3 स्टेज में एग्जाम देने हैं. The prelims, the mains and the personality test. So in prelims, you will have the entire 200 questions divided into 8 sections. As you can see in the screen, the English composition, 25 questions from English composition, grammar, vocab and a scoring area you must say. Then अगर आप जनरल स्टडीज के पार्ट में जाओगे, यू विल सी एक के बाद एक आपके स्क्रीन में फ्लैश कार्ड्स आएंगे जो आपको सब्जेक्ट्स के बारे में बोलेंगे या फिर सब्जेक्ट्स का नाम, कौन सा सब्जेक्ट आपको पढ़ना है वो सब्जेक्ट के बारे में यहां पे यू कैन सी जनरल साइंस, यू कैन सी करंट इवेंट्स, यू कैन सी हिस्ट्री ऑफ इंडिया, यू कैन सी जियोग्राफी ऑफ इंडिया, यू कैन सी पॉलिटी इकोनॉमी, then the national movement of India, and finally mental ability. So these 8 sections, they cover 200 questions, MCQ questions, and 2025 the PSC is going to keep the same pattern, right? And when you will be one of the 5000 people जिन्होंने prelims clear कर लिए हैं, आपके लिए वेट करेगा मेंस जो आपका मल्टी डे एग्जाम है. एंड मेंस में अगेन यू कैन सी इन द स्क्रीन देयर आर मल्टीपल सब्जेक्ट्स हैपेंड ऑन मल्टीपल डे. फॉर एग्जाम्पल द फर्स्ट, द लैंग्वेज पेपर, योर ओन मदर टंग, जो आप फॉर्म भरने के टाइम सिलेक्ट करोगे. बंगाली, हिंदी, उर्दू, नेपाली, सांताली. That is the first paper you have to give and it is a descriptive paper. आपको लिखना होगा, right? But this video is not for the subject details. It is basically for the roadmap. So we will just go through it. We will not go into the details. Then we have English, एक ही दिन में second paper, descriptive again, précis, translation, composition. These are the topics that you have to write. Then we have the general studies paper start, and it will be on day 2. Day 2 will have 2 papers. The first paper will be General Studies 1, which includes history and geography, 200 objective questions, and in the second half, it will have General Studies 4, which will have science, current affairs based 200 questions objective. Then on the third day, it will have General Studies 3, that is Constitution and Economy, which is polity as well as economics. Again, 200 objective questions. And finally, on the second half of day 3, it will have the math and reasoning paper, 200 marks, 3 hours. Right. So these 6 papers, this will be given by all the aspirants who have cleared mains, because these 6 are compulsory papers. Then you will have a day gap, and then on the next day you will have optional paper 1, which is only for group A and B. And then on the same day, optional paper 2 only for group A and B. These are descriptive paper. So if you are choosing group A or B, if you want to be an executive, you have to give a total of 1600 marks exam, right? And that is the overall. And then comes the personality test. In the personality test for group A or B, the total marks is 200, then C 150 and D 100. And you can check that the personality test is, I haven't written interview, I have written personality test. It's a test of your own personality, aap kaise ho as a human being, rather than your knowledge. Okay, fine. Now let's go through the WBCS cutoff over the years, because whenever an aspirant starts his or her journey, वो लोग जब start करते हैं, सबसे पहले दिमाग में आता है कट ऑफ कितना था. तो आप देख लेते हैं कट ऑफ कितना था. So you can see on your screen that the cutoff for the last 5 years, you can see. And please remember that these cutoffs are not predictable. Cutoffs kabhi bhi predictable nahi hai. Cutoffs are dependent on so many factors. Vacancy, question standard, your preparation standard, other examinees, there are so many standards. Right. Achha. So we will focus on the last one, 2023. In the 2023 prelims, the cutoff was 101.25 for general unreserved candidate. And then if we see the mains cutoff, if we see the cutoff to be called for an interview, these are the cutoff to be called for an interview for group A, for group B. Group B is the police service. And then after the interview, the final selection cutoff you can see. So these marks, these numbers, they will guide you how to prepare, where to score more and everything. Just look at them and then forget about it. If you keep it in mind that the cutoff was like this, so I have to score only that. No, you can score much, much higher, right? If you want. Okay. So this cutoff will only give you a rough idea about at least how much to score. Fine. Okay. Now let's move on to the main topic of this video, that is how to start. Many of you have asked me in various channels that how to start. Since I have been in this profession of teaching aspirants also, along with being an aspirant myself, I can understand where the students actually lack, why the students fail. It is because the first point, 3 to 4 focused hours, that point is missing from many aspirants' routine. So what should be your strategy? your strategy should be for the first 3 or 4 months. If you are a beginner, अगर आप एकदम fresher हो, if you are just have started, for the first 3-4 months, you should build your base, you should build your foundational concept. And then you just try to apply those knowledge. You try to start solving questions. And then 1 month before prelims, you go entirely prelims mode. You go solve questions, mock test only. You don't need to study them. You just need to revise. You need to solve more, many questions, previous year questions, everything. And then 1 month after prelims, suppose prelims is over and you are pretty certain that I have scored good enough to be called for mains. What you will do in that 1 month? Try concentrating your entire time on language and optional, because those 4 papers will actually make or break. So language and optional, just focus on that 1 month. Try started writing, because many of us have forgotten how to write in our own mother tongue, and that's a very serious matter. And then you just go through GS paper as well as full mocks. This is how we should proceed. This is how I have proceeded, and obviously I have succeeded. This is how many of the successful candidates they have proceeded. They have their routine sorted out in this way. Achha. Now papers 1 and 2, that is the language paper. It is not qualifying like UPSC. It is, the marks will be carried, the marks will be counted. So in that sense, these 2 papers, you should be extremely good in this. Whatever your language is, Bengali, Nepali, Hindi, Urdu, Santali in your paper 1 and English in your paper 2, how can you make good scores? You should read newspapers. You should read newspapers, you should update yourself with the current events, and you should also read editorials to have a habit of writing well, writing logically, writing structured in a structured manner. Nobody expects you to write like somebody who is a professional, no. But at least they will expect you to be logical and coherent. आपका जो भी आप लिखोगे उसमें एक flow होना चाहिए. From start to finish, there should be a consistent flow, so that whoever is reading it, he or she can read it in a flow, and आपका automatically better impression होगा, right? So how can you do this? I said read newspapers, read some books. It is the age of AI, but still books are irreplaceable. Please read books, not only your study books, but also some of the famous fiction, some of the famous autobiographies, so that you can quote them in your writing, so that your conceptual and your imagination base broadens, right? Next, one of the main fundamental question that everybody asks, is coaching necessary? Well, the answer is both yes and no. If you are a beginner, the coaching is absolutely necessary. Why? Because as a beginner, you may not have the mental discipline to sit for study every day, which this exam absolutely demands. There is no other condition about it. There is no second point about it. Every day you have to study, and that mental discipline comes with a bit persistence. That mental discipline comes with a bit involvement in the study. How can you do this without a coaching? You cannot. So that's why for a fresher, beginner, yes, you have to get into a coaching. If you are already experienced, if you are a veteran, quote unquote veteran, then maybe you don't need a regular coaching, you may need specialized mock test. I can absolutely agree. But for a fresher, you should join a coaching, right? You should. Now, the next question will be, which works better for WBCS? Again, I'm focusing here only on WBCS. Which works better on WBCS? Online or offline? See, WBCS is a marathon. WBCS is not a 100-meter sprint. It's a marathon. And I tell it to all my students that you should take it like a marathon. You should plan it. You should plan for 2 years. And that's why you cannot survive an online course for 2 years. That's why in WBCS, offline rocks. That's why in WBCS, offline coaching matters. You will be taught with 50 other students. You will be in a classroom. The vibe will be different. You will constantly interact with teachers physically. Amne samne. It is you and your teacher will not be divided by the laptop screen. And since it's a 2-year journey, you can have, a dip in your motivation. You can have dip in your concentration. You can get a bit depressed, frustrated. Absolutely normal. Absolutely normal. In that case, the teachers, the guide, the friends, they will actually motivate you, not your online peers who will comment on the YouTube, because you cannot actually go and sit with them in actual classroom. So for WBCS, my own preference will be offline coaching. It is my own preference. Again, I'm saying for freshers, you should start offline coaching. Achha. I happen to be with an institute that is the Dhronas, where you can have your WBCS journey begin. Okay? And it is in Siliguri where you can have your WBCS journey begin. They have the offline courses. They have all the good faculties. They have the resources. And they have all the success stories also. So you can trust this institute. And again, for the last, in the video, it won't happen in a day, but it will happen one day if you are persistent, if you are dedicated, and अगर आप ये सपना देख रहे हो कि आपके नाम के पीछे भी WBCS एग्जीक्यूटिव या फिर WBCS ऑफिसर ये टैग लगेगा, और जो लोग आज आपको कुछ नहीं समझते, जो लोग आज आपको भाव नहीं देते, जो लोग आज आपको थोड़ा सा लायबिलिटी समझते हैं, अगर वो टैग आपके पीछे लग जाएगा, वही लोग आपको एसेट मानेंगे, वही लोग आपका वाहवाही करेंगे. एंड द थिंग्स दैट यू एक्चुअली वांट इन लाइफ, इट happens. And as one of the favorite of India's son has said in one of his movies, इतनी शिद्दत से मैंने तुम्हें पाने की कोशिश की है कि हर जर्रे ने मुझे तुमसे मिलाने की साजिश की है. So you just start and you will see कि everything will fall in place eventually. Right. So I wish you all the best for WBCS, and I hope to see you as my colleague very, very soon. Thank you.